And now, recorded from deep within the Savage Sanctorum, this is the MegaPowers Podcast with Ace and Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, welcome to the MegaPowers Podcast with me, Ace Fanini, and my tag team partner, Mike.
Hell yeah.
Mike, who drinks at 3:19 a.m. in the morning. White.
Hell yeah. That's right. That's right. Well, I saw it was 3:16. I figured, I'm going to take a beer and burn that son of a bitch to the ground.
How did I not make that connection, dude? I need to be shot.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And, yeah.
What's going on? Is it raining there,
go ahead.
Mike? Is it raining there?
Yeah, I just checked on it. I was going to smoke, and yeah, it's raining pretty good. It's like Vietnam. It's a lot like Vietnam. There's foliage out there.
I don't know what. Wait. What does raining have to do with Vietnam?
I associate rain with Vietnam because of the Forrest Gump. Montage.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. It's early in the fucking morning, bro, and I'm honestly quite delirious. But anyway,
It's cool, man. It's cool. So am I. I'm actually not drinking, but I feel like I have been.
Dude, I feel like I've been drinking. I feel like I've been shooting up black tar heroin and snorting coke off of really nasty hookers' asses, man. I'm pretty fucked up right now, and I'm sober. I'm tired of shit. That's what a long day will do for you,
Yeah. That's I've been up since 1 day, and so yesterday. So yeah, it's a full 14-hour shift for me.
Jesus, man, that's some full on crackhead shit. I'm proud of you, actually.
Thank you. I filled the day up with watching Always Sunny.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that show is really fucked up, and if you haven't watched it, you really should.
No, I like fucked up, as we both know. I'm a big fan of fucked up. Speaking of fucked up, it's pretty fucked up that we've come this far into the podcast history, which is a few episodes, and we have just now gotten to the episode that I've been waiting on. Mike, this is the show. This is the show, Mike.
This is the one.
This is the fucking show I've been waiting on. This is the comic episode of the MegaPowers Podcast. And I know that I'm excited about this because I like comic books, but I know that you are the fucking master. You're the grand master of inked pages, right? You draw comic books. You've been reading them since you were, I don't know, knee-high to a midget's nutsack, and here we are, right?
Yeah. Well, pretty much. I'm not gonna say I'm the authority. I do know most, or more than most.
Dude, we talked about the man thing, dude. Like, the man thing, the fucking the man that made of mud with like, I don't know, wooden dicks for arms. Was that the description? I don't remember. Did he have wooden dicks for arms?
He was a pile of moss and other shit.
Did he have wooden dicks for arms?
Yeah, he totally did.
Fuck it. Yeah, okay, I thought you motherfucking dick-armed fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
If you know fear, you'll burn it as dick-armed touch.
Don't make me take this dick arm off the charger, bitch. Splinters in the lip. Look, hey, but before we talk about anything as far as the comic books, I want to bring up something that a lot of people have been talking about that deeply correlates with comics, and that is the Infinity War movie that got the preview that got leaked. You saw that, right?
I did not. No. I avoid all spoilers. I'll wait for a real trailer. This was a real trailer. Well, from what I understand, though, Iron Man got his ass kicked.
Well, I mean, they're all going to get their ass kicked at some point in this movie. They're fucking with Thanos, man. That's no spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me look it up real quick if you think it's kind of spoiler free.
Well, I mean, the only thing is okay. The only thing about it it's I mean, in terms of spoiler free. I mean, like recently, a lot of trailers now they give away a lot of shit in the trailer. But I mean, all this was coming. Yeah. I mean, you see Thanos and you see Spider-Man's in the movie, and the trailer's just pretty badass, But
Spider-Man's in the movie. Fuck.
It's in the. I'm gonna say, dude. I swear to God, don't make me click. This fucking preview was not supposed to be aired. It was only for the con or convention that these people were at. And speaking of the Infinity War, Mike, what is the Infinity War?
Well, that's a good question, Ace. Okay. Now we're talking about what is the Infinity War from the comics, or what is the Infinity War from the movies?
No. Okay, we're going to talk about the comics first, and then we're going to talk about how bad the movie's probably going to fuck it up. So we'll cover that first.
Okay.
So start with the comic. What in the Infinity War, story, what is the Infinity War? What is it?
Okay, to answer that question, we have to start with there was the Thanos limited series. It was 2 issues, and what it was is that for a long time in the comics, they had what was called soul gems, and the soul gems were held by the elders of the universe. Right. The elders of the universe, this ancient race of beings, and they really had no connection. They have more of a connection in the movies. They kind of look alike from what I've seen from the Collector and the Grandmaster. Yeah. Played by Benicio del Toro and Jeff Goldblum. But they're an ancient race of beings, and they found out that they died whenever they didn't have purpose, and so they all have some purpose. Like they're named. They have names like the Collector. They have the Contemplator. They have the Grandmaster. They all have the Runner. They all have these things to keep them busy. The Gardener, for God's sake.
Wait, one of the guys is really named the Gardener?
The Gardener, yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, and so they held on to these soul gems, and what they were doing was they were scratching the surface of the soul gems, and the Gardener would use it to make his plants grow, his garden bloom, I don't know, maybe he was like my grandpa and shucking peas or something, I don't know,
right,
into a bucket. So anyway, so in the Thanos limited series, the 2 limited series, he had a major crush on Death.
No. Yeah. Okay. So for those who don't know what the fuck you're talking about, who is Death?
Death is the personification of the concept of death in the Marvel universe.
And Death is it's Mistress Death, right? And
she takes the form of a woman,
right?
Because if you get married, then you'll soon understand that.
Why? Yeah, dude, that was a great choice.
Thank you.
Not just for you, but it was a great choice to make Death a woman, because every dude I've ever met said he'd rather be dead than actually be married. And I'm not kidding. Like, every time people ask me, they're like, "You don't have any kids?" Well, when women ask me, they're like, "You're not married? You don't have any kids?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." When a man asks me if I'm married and I say, "No, I've never been married, and no, I don't have any kids I'm aware of," he's like, "Smart man. Man, don't ever get married." I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" So Pornhub it is from now on. Anyway, carry on.
Right. Yeah. I have a smart TV, and would you like to know how smart my TV is?
Enlighten me.
It never got married. Okay. So anyway,
you hear that, dude? That's me hanging myself on this end. That's me dragging that chair across the room so I can get to the fixture. All right, go ahead, bro.
Okay, so he had a major crush on Death, and he's like, "Death, you got me straight tripping, boo."
All the cool points are out the window.
Hell yeah!
Who is this ashy cocoa goddess? Anyway, go this
purple robed figment.
Yeah. Who is this tall glass of grape soda walking around? Hey, speaking of that, Death is actually hot in the comic book, huh?
Well, if you like robe chicks, she's either the face of a beautiful woman or the face of just a skull, depending on how angry she is, I guess.
Or how you're feeling that day, like
there you go. What really, how you perceive her, I guess.
Right. What really gets your goat in the middle of the night? And we go ahead. Speaking of, well, never mind. I'll save those ex-girlfriend jokes for another one.
Okay.
For another, because at one time I did date something that did look like a corpse, which you're familiar with, but we won't get into that right now. We're a little too early in the podcast for me to get sued. Let me see.
Defamation.
Yeah, defamation of. Well, did you say defamation or defamation?
Defamation. Defamation character, yeah.
Well,
a personal assassination.
Right. Well, you can't assassinate somebody who already looks like they're dead. All right, what were you saying?
Okay, so he threw the cool points out the window. He said, "I need some of your power,
right,
to seek out these soul gems because I have an idea."
Right.
I can't remember if he told her what the idea was or not, but she granted him some power. Mm-hmm. And what he did was he went one by one to the elders of the universe and defeated them in one way or another and got the soul gems. In that he stated that he was going to stop calling them soul gems because one of the gems was actually the soul gem.
Okay, and I was going to ask that earlier because instead of calling all of them soul gems, one of them soul gem. One is the time gem, right?
Yeah.
One is the right. Let's see, the time gem, the soul gem. Is there one of power? Is a power gem one of them? Okay,
yes.
The power gem, and then there is there the space gem or something like that? Space or
yep, you're on the money.
Is that right? Space, and then there's I want to say, is it? There's not a life gem, right? No.
No.
Okay.
There's 5. Okay,
all right. I thought there were 6 gems. There's only 5.
Let me make sure of that.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, man. Like, hey, I'm happy about 4, bro.
I'm wrong. Yeah.
Pretty happy at this.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. There's 6. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember the Infinity Gauntlet, like the gems on the Infinity Gauntlet, which might correct me if I'm wrong. The Infinity Gauntlet is the glove in which the soul gems are placed, right? In which, in order for you to wield the power, I mean, you don't have to have it to wield the power, but I mean, apparently, according to the comics, if you have the Infinity Gauntlet, which is this golden glove, it has place compartments in each one of the knuckles, including the thumb, and then one on top of the hand, in which you place all the Infinity Gems. And when you have this, you're pretty much like you're pretty much God when you wear the Infinity Gauntlet, and it contains all of the gems. And you're pretty much omnipotence, omniscience, like you know all, you're all powerful. Like there's pretty much nothing you can do, except I don't know. I guess in Adam's Warlock's case, the only thing you could not do is not be lame. But anyway,
not have a better haircut.
Yeah, and and not hang out with cooler people other than the mole man. But
well, Pip the Troll is kind of cool. He drinks a lot, so I feel him on that. Mm. Like Pip the Troll is always seen with a cigar in his mouth. So, and I mean, I totally relate to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but
beer long neck.
The 6 gems are space, mind, soul, reality, time, and power.
Reality and space. That was the ones I was thinking of, right? Or no, reality. What was it again? Okay, say them one more time.
You did not call the mind one.
Mind one. That's it. Reality and mind. Those are the 2 I didn't get. Those are the 2. Yeah. So at least I got so I'm 4 out of 6. All right. Yeah. By the way, did you hear that loud air conditioner?
I hear it now that you mentioned
it. You hear it now? Okay. I got to do something about that. Anyway, carry on. So what does each gem do?
Well, okay. So the space gem, it folds space. You could teleport basically. Pretty much space is your bitch if you have that. Like the Doctor Who, like the TARDIS goes through time and space. You have a space gem and you have a time gem. So you can show up at any space at any time. You could fold the fabric of space and travel light years at the blink of an eye. You know, at the speed of thought.
Yeah.
Mind, pretty much everybody is an open book to you. You can read minds. You can control minds. You can you see thoughts. Things like that.
Yeah.
The soul gem you can reanimate.
Mm-hmm.
The soul gem was Adam Warlock's for a long time. I'm not sure why. Maybe he didn't have a soul. I'm not sure.
I can tell you why. No, I mean technically he doesn't. He has a soul, but he's actually manufactured. He's actually he's a synthetic human being. Adam Warlock was born. He has a long and extensive story, which I mean, Adam Warlock's entire story. It starts with he was manufactured at a place called the Beehive, and then
by the Enclave. By the Enclave.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then like he goes on and lives this long life where he goes to a place called Euro Earth, and I mean, I know I'm skipping a few things here, but like he goes on and he goes to this place called, and he's possessed by this being called the Magus. You ever heard of the Magus before? I know you.
Yeah, that's the evil version of Adam Warlock. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So the evil version of like the Magus. Which actually the Magus actually starts the second Infinity War, if you remember that, with all the doppelgangers. Do you remember that?
That was actually the first Infinity War.
Was that the first Infinity War? Wasn't there a second before the? That's why I'm glad I have you on this podcast. See, I know a lot about pornography and beer, and you know a lot about comic books. So God bless America. The first Infinity War, that was where the big, like the doppelganger of Spider-Man actually tied into Maximum Carnage. You know, that teamed up with Shriek, and then do you remember that?
Yeah, he was left over after the Infinity War.
Right, and one of the only ones left over after the Infinity War. I think he's of all the people. I don't know why, was one of the shittiest doppelgangers. But anyway, we'll say that for another podcast. He basically, whenever he came into fruition as the Magus, and then he kind of had to do a little soul searching. Went to this place called Euro Earth, and then had to battle someone called the Beast Man. And at some point, he had to suffer a crucifixion or something to save Euro Earth. It's just a long string of shit that I really don't care about, but was unfortunate enough to come across. And if you're an Adam Warlock fan, then you need to lose your virginity. I'm just saying. Anyway, so there's just nothing great about Adam Warlock, man. I don't hear Adam Warlock's in the same fucking boat as Man Thing, right? Man Thing, and he's in the same boat as Man Thing and Banjo, dude. Mr. Mix the Pickle Dick is more of an idea. Is more of a big deal to me than this guy. Like, I'm being honest, and people are going crazy because they saw him at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They're like, "Did you see it was Adam Warlock?" I was like, "Yeah," and I did not fucking care. You know, I mean, I just didn't. I'm sorry.
It's kind of a cool callback, and it's kind of
what
anyway. Aisha from the movie from Guardians of the Galaxy, she's actually Adam Warlock's other version. Like she is literally the female version of Adam Warlock.
Yeah, and they actually a lot of movie buffs apparently, who in my opinion, I know for a fact, have really just like kind of like seen these movies. And before the internet, I don't know what the hell they were doing. These people wouldn't exist. They just go and really extensively research it, and then just go and spout this kind of shit off. Which I'm not knocking them for it. I mean, I do that sometimes, but you know what I'm talking about. They make it seem like you didn't know that. I'm like, I totally knew that, totally.
Right.
For two reasons. The first, I actually read some of the comic, and secondly, I know Mike White, so that's the second thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just throw my name out there. It's it'll get you street cred.
Yeah. Well, it also gets you raped in the anus. I found
good.
I mean, it happens. They're like,
I'm glad that works.
They're like, are you friends with Mike White? Like, yeah. They're like, oh, that anus is easy. But anyway, carry on.
Now I understand where all that comes from. It's like I've been getting the weirdest emails, from people who still use email.
Who the fuck is Captain Howdy? So anyway. To make a long story well, actually, that's short story turned long. Spent too much time on Adam Warlock. Carry on.
Okay, no problem. So he went one by one through the Elders of the Universe. He tricked them or beat them in one way or another and got the gems from them. Mm-hmm. He came back to Mr. Steth. He said, "Look, I got all this power now." And Mistress Death gave him the cold shoulder after that, because she didn't like that he was more powerful to her than her.
Yeah, rather. Well, I thought it was the fact that he was more powerful. I thought the reason why that she gave him the cold shoulder again is because he was so powerful that she felt unworthy to speak to him.
Pretty much. Yeah. She actually didn't talk to him after that. She spoke through a subordinate who said that Mr. Steth says that she is not she's not an equal to you any longer. She's now a subordinate, and so
dude, and that's where like reality sets in, man. It's like even though Thanos has gone above and beyond, he's went and like retrieved the six most powerful gems that pretty much make you god of everything. you still can't please these bitches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't do shit right, man. It's like, I was like, I went and did all this for you. And she's like, tell that guy over there that you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think at this point, Thanos was like, man, I wish I had smashed, you know?
Yeah, he's like, I should have hit, man. And like right now, I mean, like, I'm in a situation where this chick pretty much friend zoned Jesus. You know what I mean? And like, here we are, back to square one. Like I'm jacking off with the Infinity Gauntlet, and so in the end of this, in the end of the saga with the entire Infinity War, what actually happens? These superheroes, the entire Marvel universe, pretty much has to band together. The Magus was part of this, right? I want to make sure I have this right because when I read go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. You're skipping ahead. Right
way
after
ahead.
That, yeah. Because we have the Infinity Gauntlet after that Thanos miniseries.
Okay.
So since Lady Death has decided to cockblock the most powerful thing in the universe,
bitch. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, she
fucking dead bitch.
He decided.
Yeah.
He decided. Well, you know what? I'm going to kill as an offering. I'm going to kill half of the population of the universe.
Okay.
And that's when the Marvel heroes got involved.
They were like, okay, all right. So we realized, Playboy, you trying to get some pussy, but you stepping over the line now, and we got to step in. And so they all show up. The whole squad shows up.
Yeah, pretty much. At first, he confronted Silver Surfer on some dismal planet. Mm-hmm. There was no life that I could see.
Probably Cleveland. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. He confronted Silver Surfer and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck all y'all. And then like he had he used the Infinity Gauntlet to form like a diagram of him fucking Earth in the ass.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about the big rock formation or whatever?
Well, actually, I was just making that part up.
No. Okay. I get you. And while I am trying to figure out what that diagram would be like, he actually did make like he did make a giant rock formation was just like, you know, I'm Thanos, my dick's big. Like he basically did that, right? If I'm not mistaken, he did that.
Well, in Infinity Gauntlet, he did make a big platform, a big shrine to himself.
Yeah,
and to Death, of course.
Thirsty ass.
Yeah, he's pretty thirsty. Oh, you know what? He even did. Speaking of thirsty, he even created a character, a person. He's like this person. I think it was like Taraxia. I think. Let me look that up.
Wait. Is this the chick that he tortured right in front of her?
No, that was Nebula.
Nebula. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Taraxia. He created Taraxia, and if you look at her, she's like a female version of Thanos, and he created her, and he said,
I remember now, and she kind of, and so they kind of had where he's like, basically, I have her now, so fuck you, you dead bitch. That's pretty much what he told her, right?
Yeah, while I'm Googling it, you know, when I Googled it, there's a picture of Thanos creating Taraxia, and he's saying, Taraxia is everything you are not.
Yeah.
So,
hell yeah. It's like she's alive. You know what I'm saying? Her tits are a cup size bigger. Like
she's warm.
Yeah, she's warm. She ain't got that dead pussy. I mean,
yeah, she hasn't worn the same robe in centuries.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, if I could make a chick like that, I'd have done that a long time ago, dude. And then all these bitches would be dead to me. You see what I did there? Get him. Dude.
Yeah.
How yeah.
Yeah, the same thing Thanos did. You know, he's like, I don't even need your ass.
Yeah.
You know, how was that? How did was that convincing?
I mean, yeah, dude. That's exactly. It's like I don't even need your ass. You know, like, pussy got worms in it. Look, dead ass, dude. I don't know, man. To be honest with you, all bullshit aside, every time I read the story about Mistress Death and Thanos and this whole like love, this, you know what I'm saying, this one-sided love thing, dude, it really pisses me off, man. Because it's honestly, I don't know, man. I think like it's just a really good analogy for reality, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it is.
Yeah. If you look on Facebook Messenger, you'll see a picture of Taraxia.
Oh, you sent a picture of Taraxia?
Yeah, we could probably work that into like whenever we put this on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, but no, he killed off half the universe. Silver Surfer came crashing in through Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, and he was like, we need to get everybody together right now because shit's going down,
Yeah.
And so they made a list of who they had available, and so they made a squad, and that squad went and confronted Thanos on his home territory at that shrine, that large castle-esque formation that he made.
Yeah.
And then the only reason that didn't last more than one panel is because Mephisto had somehow shacked up with Thanos, and they were in the same. He was advising.
Right.
And for those of you who are not aware, I'm not sure why you're still listening, but if you're not aware, Mephisto is the Marvel version of the devil.
Yes. Or according to Ghost Rider, his name is Mephistopheles, which sounds like a urinary tract infection.
Yeah, that's actually German. That's Mephistopheles.
Really?
Yeah, that's where the root comes from. That's where Mephisto comes from.
So why didn't they just name him Mephisto in Ghost Rider, Mike? Do you have an answer for that? Because I don't.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
It's always I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
My complaint, and I could go on for a while. Go ahead.
Yeah. Try not to get hung up on that one.
Hung up hard.
Okay, so he actually made a family reunion on this shrine. He had Death, of course, because she couldn't go anywhere. He pulled his brother, Star Fox, in. He pulled Nebula, who was claiming he was his granddaughter. She was his granddaughter. And he was kind of pissed off about that. He's like, "You're not really my granddaughter." I lost track with Nebula, I'll admit, over the years.
Yeah.
And somehow she became his daughter. So whatever. Moving on.
Okay.
They were all there. Mephisto leaned in and told Thanos, he's like, Thanos, Death would probably think it was really badass if you would like renounce some of your power, so it's not just like all over. With a thought. And he said, okay, yeah, I can do that. What I'll do is I will not use all the other gems except for the power gem, which that'll give you like a 0.05 chance of winning, and it just didn't work. It was a slaughterhouse. Everybody walked into like a butcher shop, and and class was in session.
Everybody got wasted.
They got wasted, and not just wasted, not like he just fucked them up, but like it was a race to see who had the cleverest way of dying. I'm talking about like Cyclops had a big box that formed around his head that Thanos did, and his beam could not penetrate it, so he fucking suffocated. Like nobody could help him. The Wolverine's bones were turned to like jelly. And so he just like flopped to the floor dead. Okay. It's Kid Nova, Richard Rider was turned into blocks and stepped on by Thanos. It wasn't enough that he was turned into blocks.
See, man,
like Legos. He turned into Legos. That's what Thanos stomped on him. That's how fucking evil and powerful Thanos is. He stepped on fucking Legos.
Dude, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Like that's the kind of life I want to live, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that want to turn into Legos. Like,
yeah.
Dude, God, saying that out loud makes me just, oh man, it's this time of the morning. Speaking of,
but it sounds totally normal right now in this conversation
at this moment. So moving on. So moving on at the very end of so we're going to skip ahead because this is a very long saga, obviously, in the Infinity War.
Issue. Yeah.
Okay, well, but I mean, like, if we covered it all, like, we would.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I'm just trying to get the nuts and bolts.
Right. No, I understand. So let's give a quick rundown here, okay? Thanos is losing his mind. His big titty dead bitch is pretty much turning him down for everything else, for everything he's worth. He went to hell and back, and to pretty much to please this chick, and it did nothing worked, right? So a lot of people get tortured, a lot of people die. What is the ending to this Infinity War? What happens at the end?
Sure. Okay, so what happened was that Thanos fucked up, as he always does. The theory that Adam Warlock threw out is that Thanos doesn't want to succeed, so he always does something that it wrecks his own vibe. It doesn't. And in this case, he created himself into the form of a godlike being.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, he left his body unprotected,
right,
on the throne, which allowed a mad grab by the 5 Earth heroes that had been reanimated.
Right.
Something. Yeah. And Adam Warlock ended up with the Infinity Gauntlet. That was the end of it.
Okay. So that's the end of that. Now, and I'm going to continue that story in just a moment. With that being said, okay, well, we're going to balance these two things out, okay? Because we're going to balance out, is the comic book going to be like the movie? What do you think in the movie they're going to change, right? I know I have a couple things I think they're going to change. What do you think they're going to change, real quick?
Well, they haven't introduced Mistress Death, so she's not going to be
right. Well, we don't know. We don't know Mistress Death. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to be a part of it, but they would have to do a real hard sell to introduce her. So he'll go from having a motive to just being like somebody that's batshit crazy that wants to, control the universe.
Right, which he's already. I mean, he's already pretty much fits that description.
Yeah.
But it would be a good thing to see Mistress Death, and I say that because if Mistress Death is in these movies, then that can also tie in with the Deadpool universe as well, because Mistress Death has a thing for Deadpool because he can't fucking die. Right? Am I right about that? Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have an affair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And like Thanos is like, why? I'm all powerful, and this dude just never shuts the fuck up. Which is pretty much.
I've never seen them. I'm sure it's happened at some point where Thanos confronted, Mistress Death. And probably had the most awkward conversation.
She's like, he walks up. He's like, who is this motherfucker, man? Like,
yeah, it's like, look at this bitch, man. Shit, how many galaxies can he rule?
He don't really, he don't even lift.
Like objectively, okay. Look at his face.
Yeah.
And then I mean, you could always make the argument that Thanos has a really craggy, chin.
Let's just be out in the open, dude. Thanos is ugly as fuck.
He is. Yeah.
Thanos looks like Prune Face from Dick Tracy, bro. That's what I think about. Except it looks like an actual fucking prune,
like the wrinkles. Yeah, it's really a really bad life whenever being purple isn't your first problem.
Oh man.
I mean, just like look at your face. It's like I'm pretty sure Thanos's entire day, like if he was just like a regular, non superpowered but still alien person, being, that his day would be full of people asking, "Dude, are you choking? Can I help you?
Would you like the Heimlich maneuver?" And then he,
it's like, no, that's just my face. It's my skin.
Now I have to kill you because you've insulted me.
Yeah, dude, I'm purple, man. Fuck,
dude. Now I got to use the dick gym. And everybody in there gets mopped over.
Pound that ass.
Pound that galactic ass. Man, so you mentioned earlier. I think if they're going to change something in if they're going to do any kind of changes in the movie, I think they're going to be drastic, just like they've been with everything else. I think they've stayed on par with mostly everything of what they could, and I don't blame Marvel Studios or any, at all for some things because they don't have the rights to some things. I will say this: I can't wait to see what they have in store. I think the trailer didn't really do the movie a whole lot of justice, and I think it was a teaser just as it was intended. I think they showed that everything in that trailer has already been showed at the post-credit scenes and all these Marvel movies, so I don't think it's going to be a big thing. I don't think that it's that much of a spoiler for what they saw, and I think it's a good thing it got leaked out because, Marvel has had a pretty good streak. That's way more than I can say for DC, and I've shitted all over DC more than once, and so has everyone. Everyone with a podcast, with a YouTube show, they've shitted all over DC for how terrible they've been. They have every right to, man. Because they're fucking.
I kind of disagree respectfully.
Okay. Tell me which movie. No. Tell me which movie's redeeming. Which one? Give me the redeeming movie. Give me the redeeming movie that will make me go, oh, well, that one was good. Which one is it?
Well, we talked about this. Uh-huh. The redeeming movie hasn't happened yet. At some point.
And until then,
at some point, everything is going to snap into place, and you're going to be like, man.
Yeah, but until then, I hear that old song in my head. Wow, living on a prayer. Take my hand. Huh? What? Dude, I'm sorry, man. Everything they've made has been just pure corn-covered shit. I can't get over how terrible Suicide Squad was. And I hear some people tell me, they're like, well, that was a pretty good movie. No, it wasn't. It was not a good movie. It was all over the goddamn place, dude. It was a fucking abomination. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't throw around words like abomination like that much.
Dude, it was an abomination. Okay, no. I have. Okay. I'm sorry. The old emotion's kicking in. Please.
It's okay.
Tell me what it is. Tell me why.
It's bad. It's like really bad. I've seen worse though.
Yeah. Okay. When I say bad and abomination, I'm saying if you're gonna make a fucking movie and slap the DC logo on it and say this is a superhero movie with at least somewhat
Hold on, is that Galactus?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm watching the leaked trailer right now.
I mean,
that is Galactus.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, but yes. I think there is a Galactus in the preview.
Yeah, he's standing right there, dude. Well, he's kind of falling over. Who the fuck is that?
To be honest with you, I think that's just Stan Lee doing a cameo.
Yeah, that's possible.
Hello, true believers. The time has come for me to devour your planet, huh?
I wonder if he's upset that he had to leave the strip club.
Yeah. I got 100 ones I want to pour on you, you fucking whore.
Excelsior.
The last time I saw Jugs that big, two hillbillies were blowing in them to make music. Excelsior, motherfucker. Dude, that's the 90s Stan Lee. Huh?
So that's Thanos. That's Thanos. And, dude, who is he fighting right now?
Dude, I don't remember, man. I was drunk when I saw the trailer. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching it right now. Holy shit, man. All these motherfuckers are part of it.
Yeah. No, it was a great trailer. It was a great trailer, and God bless the person that recorded it, I mean,
yeah. Well, and Satan possessed the person that keeps standing in front of the camera.
Yeah, dude, fuck whoever you are. I know you'll probably, I mean, I hope one day they go back to the annals of time, to the catacombs of podcasting, so I can hear you specifically tell you to get fucked. That was the only problem that I saw with the preview, Or the whole
okay, trailer. so there's probably just one angle on this then.
Yeah, no, there is because some fucking dingleberry. Anyway, I mean, I know I'm complaining about pirated material, but hey, if you're gonna do it, you better do it big and get the fuck out of the way. And also blame the cameraman. I mean, come on, get a better angle. I don't know. Are we being nitpicky? Probably. But when it comes to a movie we've never fucking seen before, man, a movie this big, this is the biggest movie so far, in my opinion. This is the biggest Marvel movie to me so far, because the potential, from the source material that it's pulled from, this is a very big Marvel movie. Like, I'm ready to see what they're going to throw at us, man, because Civil War was a great movie. Okay? Civil War was, like, do you agree with that? Do you agree with Civil War was a great movie?
Yeah.
Civil War was phenomenal. Those movies, they only got better with time. And when we first saw the first Avengers movie, we were like, how can it get any better than this? And it just kept getting better and better, you know? I mean, I thought the Age of Ultron was great. The Civil War was fucking phenomenal, man. And even though they didn't have access to all the people that they should have had, they still did a great job. You know, it was a great movie. You know, great use of Black Panther. Which, when's this movie coming out? Do you know? I don't remember. Bad with dates.
I think 2018. I think I want to say February of 2018.
Okay. Are you pretty psyched for that?
Oh yeah, it's going to be February of 2018 because it's Black History Month. Yes, I am. I'm actually more psyched about Black Panther than I am for what's another movie? Well, I want to see Thor.
I am not more psyched for Black Panther than I am for Thor. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not more psyched for that. We'll put it actually right now. Infinity War. I'm more psyched for because it comes first, you know. But I really want to see Black Panther.
Yeah, well, nothing takes precedence over Infinity War. Speaking of Infinity War, well, to me at least. Speaking of Infinity War, to complete that story, and I'll make this brief, as brief as I can. Adam Warlock took the Infinity Gauntlet shortly after, and I actually had this comic book. I think I told you this before. The reason why I know it so well is for two reasons. Number one, it's the only story that I ever read where Adam Warlock was pretty compelling. The comic book was interesting. It had a lot of characters in it that I found really interesting. And secondly, it was right beside the toilet when I go to take a shit. And God knows that's the best place to read. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. And so I used to read that comic a lot. The thing is like when Adam Warlock had it, Eternity, the living embodiment of all of the universe, which actually walks around the universe, which doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he feels that he should be the one to possess the Infinity Gauntlet. And Adam Warlock basically said, you know what? I could pretty much kill everybody here if I wanted to right now. But I'm going to go along with what they have to say just to see what their argument is, right? So they get the Living Tribunal, this four-faced judge, you know, that's...
3.
Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He has 3 faces. Yeah, 3 faces and a one-eyed monster. So he sits above all these beings, and they have this whole jury show up. And the jury consists of people like, have you ever heard of Master Order? You know who that is? Big ball-headed head that floats around?
Yeah. There's a Lord Chaos and Master Chaos and Lord Order.
Yeah. No, there's Master Order and Lord Chaos. Right. And then there's Epic, and there's the Stranger, and there's one of the Celestials. There's Mistress Love and Master Hate. There's one of the Watchers. Galactus is there. And there's a couple others, I believe, which I can't think right off the top of my head, but they ain't worth a fuck. Anyway, there are all these great big beings there, and they all have this big thing. And basically, they say, all the jury listens to their arguments. There's a lot of bullshit. Anyway, bottom line is, Adam Warlock tells the Living Tribunal, if you want this gauntlet from me, you big, gold-faced motherfucker, you're going to have to come down here and wrestle it from me. And the Living Tribunal, instead of stepping up and saying, all right, bitch, bet. He basically says, if I try to do that right now, it will pretty much destroy the fabric of time and space. Is that the kind of God that you want to be? And that's what set Adam Warlock straight. And he's like, you know what, dude? You pretty much gave me an epiphany right now. You're right. And that's why he has the Soul Gem, because the Living Tribunal not only said that he could keep the Infinity Gauntlet, he said, you need to take those gems and go and find 5 other people to give them to. You keep one for yourself and go find 5 other people you feel need to possess these gems that you feel. Because now that we've had this conversation, I'm putting the trust of the Infinity Gems in your hands, and Eternity can get fucked. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what happened. So, okay. I mean, do you remember that comic or no?
Yeah, no, I remember reading it, and I'm looking it up right now as well.
Okay, yeah, it was a one-issue thing when they had this trial, but I mean everything after that was pretty much it's back to Adam Warlock being Adam Warlock. So yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I'm ready to see Thor. So Thor Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, obviously, and the Infinity War. Ready to see all three of those. Really ready for Thor, man. Okay, so I want to take a change of pace real quick. All right.
Okay.
I want to change it. I've always wanted to talk about this and go into depth and go into detail about it because it was never really covered. I've never heard anybody really cover it, like sit down and talk about it. And that is, and I'm going way back. You ready to go back? Is it time to go back to the past?
Yeah.
Is it time to go back to the past, dude? When gas was 99 cents and there were cartoons on Saturday morning and, this place didn't suck. You remember that?
No.
Okay. Wait, really?
That was too far. Wait, when what place didn't suck?
There's everywhere. Like it was a lot better.
Oh,
like,
no, I don't remember that.
Things were much better. You don't remember? Really? Damn.
No. Well, I'm lifelong depressant. So.
I mean, did you live in Canada in the 90s? No. Anyway, listen.
I'd have been so drunk.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have.
Trust me, man. If I had to live in Canada, I'd be drunk all the time too. I'm just kidding, but seriously. So, by the way, did you know remember that show Goosebumps?
I remember. Yeah, I was too old for it to watch it, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like the show was filmed in Canada, and then I go back and look at it now and hear the Canadian accents. I'm like, fuck, this is fucking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I actually have an authentic Canadian accent.
Oh really?
That I developed it while I was up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was up there for a month, and yeah. So
does it consist of a lisp or no?
No lisp. But just a change in the voice. It's like, like ask me a question that requires a no answer.
Okay, Mike, has the milkman been sleeping with the lady again?
No.
All right.
Yeah, that's authentic. That's authentic Canadian.
Moving on.
Accent. Yeah.
Let's see. Where was? Oh my God. So anyway, all right. So this is what I want to talk about. We're going back to the past, where Pogs were a thing before Pokemon. Back to the early '90s. I want to go back and I want to talk about the death and return of Superman. Mike,
okay.
I want to talk about when Kal-El fucking died, Mike. I want to talk about when that giant pile of shit Doomsday was deep in the earth. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was. Yeah, I remember that. I only got the issue where he actually died.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what a lot of people had. I actually had the graphic novel, and before that I had a couple out of the actual series. I was trying to follow it. But I will tell you this, and for those of you who are listening right now who think that, I want to tell you, the reason why I'm so hard on DC, other than the fact that its immense suckage is nonstop, is the fact that in Batman v Superman, or whatever the fuck, in this movie... Yeah, spoiler alert, obviously, when he dies at the end and he fights that being that's supposedly like half Zod, half, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, that's not how it happened at all. That's supposed to be Doomsday. That's not Doomsday. That's a horrible representation. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen. Now, for movie purposes, people can be like, oh, well, it was just for the movie. However, they picked Jesse Eisenberg, so their credibility in cinema is totally in the shitter for me, period. Anyway...
He did look cool, though. I got to say that he did look pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. If you want to find a small gold nugget and a giant turd, I'll accept that. Thank you for your half full mentality. Movie's still terrible. So with that being said, Superman, Kal-El, whatever, Clark Kent. Okay.
Yeah.
Clark Kent dies, man. So it all starts off with Doomsday is a being. Where was Doomsday from, by the way, Mike? Where the hell did Doomsday come from? Tell me. Tell us. Tell us.
I'm pretty sure he was created in Star Labs.
So he was creation. He was created. He was created in Star Labs.
No. I'm not Star Labs. Cadmus. Hold on.
Okay. And why was he created? What was the experiment they were working on? Why did they ever? I mean, I'm pretty sure they gave the entire origin of Doomsday and where he came from, but what was it?
Let me see. What was he created for? Gosh, I have a disadvantage on this one because I don't. I didn't read a whole lot of DC as a kid. I didn't start reading DC until I was a senior in high school. Really.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy for me. I flip flop between now and then because DC was my shit when I was a kid. Now Of course, it's more Marvel, but that was a compelling story to hear exactly because Superman's died a few times now, but when that first happened, when it first happened, it was. That's probably one of the most iconic deaths in comic book history that gripped a lot of people, man. I think it was actually that's the only other time I saw that a comic book of a death of a superhero was actually on the news other than Captain America,
Yeah. Okay. Now this isn't familiar to me. This is the first I'm finding out about it.
Right.
But according to Wiki, Doomsday was born in prehistoric times on Krypton, long before the humanoid Kryptonian race gained dominance over the planet around 250,000 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And so let me see. He came to Earth. Let me skip ahead. Because I don't know. I guess he fell in the explosion or something. That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, what happened? And in the very beginning of the saga, like one of the first comics where basically it said somewhere Doomsday is coming. You know what I'm saying? It showed him like punching. He was basically, in that green suit in a containment chamber deep underground, and then he finally escapes. And as a kid, I was just like, what the fuck, And then, so when he finally makes it to Earth and he just starts wreaking havoc all over the place, he finally makes it to Metropolis because he has to travel to Metropolis from wherever he's from. He goes to Metropolis, and at the time, the Justice League it was Superman, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Guy Gardner, Fire, and Ice. They were the, and sometimes, Guardian wasn't part of the group,
Maxima as well.
Which one was Maxima? And Bloodwind. Bloodwind too.
Yeah, Bloodwind. Yeah. Who later revealed that he was Martian Manhunter.
Yes. He certainly did. And I remember that, and they actually showed that. Like, at one point during the Doomsday fight, someone said, "Oh my God, Bloodwind is," and then there was a huge explosion. But yes, he was John Johns. And
Jones.
Do what?
John Jones. Sorry.
Wait. Did I say Jones? I'm sorry. It's
no. You said John Johns. It's John.
I'm sorry.
Jones.
I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. If you can't tell, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
So anyway,
I'm pretty sure nobody listening even picked up on that.
Probably not. Probably not Mike Watts. Probably not. Oh wait. So
interesting about this. He showed up on Earth.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he get there?
Dude, I don't know. That's like
he's after freeing one arm and smashing his way out of the buried vault.
Yeah.
The fuck did a... Dude. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody has to explain it somewhere.
Eventually arriving on the planet Calaton, he ravaged the world for 3 years. With only the capital city left, the royal family combined their life forces into a single energy being, the Radiant. The Radiant killed the Ultimate, which is Doomsday, with a huge blast of energy, laying waste to over a fifth of his planet in the process. In common Calatonian burial procedures, the Ultimate's seemingly dead body was suited and shackled to prevent his spirit from escaping into the afterlife. And he was shot into space because the murders he committed made him unworthy of burial on Calaton. Well, see, there's your problem.
What?
There's your problem right there. You put him in a metallic casket, and that's where he came to Earth.
Oh, man. Because he was fresh to death. Okay, we'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. I'm gonna pause real quick. I gotta piss. All right.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna pause the recording. Hold on. And yeah, man. So it doesn't give a whole lot of explanation. I mean, you put the dude in a metal you put him in a metal casket, ends up on Earth. Okay, and if you tore the whole place apart for 3 years, he's not gonna stay buried underground. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's just poor planning on their part. The lack of foresight.
Dude, I'm firing the funeral coordinator for Calaton.
It's like a bunch of spiders. It's like if like I've always thought that if spiders had quality control, then a lot of them would lose their lives. Just by that. It's like just base that off of like I go out to my car and there's a fucking spider web over the car door.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you did a good job here, but look, buddy, you built that over the door, which is going to be opened. So, you're stupid. So I'm going to have to kill you now,
So,
but yeah. So, I mean, like quality control would really help, would have just some foresight, maybe.
Right.
You know, it's like maybe, you know, maybe he's not dead. You know, because he's pretty badass. You know, it's like I don't really see how he couldn't come back to life.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, so anyway, this guy comes out of the ground. He wakes up. He starts killing animals and birds and was beating the shit out of people. He's basically like a homeless man in New York, and he
jacked up. Yeah.
Yeah, like completely jacked up off of God knows what. I don't know a better way to explain it, man. He really just comes up. He's all about destruction, and so we're gonna skip ahead to move the story along. He crosses paths with the Justice League when Superman's not around. Superman's actually giving a talk show interview, right? They're beating the living shit out. I mean, dude, they're ripping the shit out of everybody's getting their ass whipped. Guy Gardner gets his face puffed up, right? Gets his ass kicked. They all get their asses kicked. And it's Superman's bright idea. He's like, pour it on. You really take your powers and just you know, so they all combine their powers and hit him. And, dude, all that does is free him. So while one of his arms was behind his back due to the containment suit he was wearing, the other one was free. And so he was really fighting them with one arm and still kicking their ass.
Yeah.
They are the ones that actually freed his arm up. So he kicks the shit out of him. Moving along all the way to the end, they have this long, drawn-out fight. Superman goes in. There's one last final blow where he takes both hands in a double fist motion and smashes Doomsday in the face. And in that moment, Superman dies. He hits the ground. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be." He's dead. All right. Superman dies. Lois Lane has a seizure. This is the day that a Superman dies. That was the last thing that happens. Right. So Kal-El's dead. After that, he goes into a dream world. This long thing. I don't know. It was the Adventures of Superman number 500. I remember. That from a long time ago, and all these things happen. All these things start to transpire. There's like 5 different Superman that come to take his place, right? There was the Superboy who was created in the lab. There was, and that was, do you remember that or no?
That was Cadmus. Yeah, that's where Cadmus.
Right. Guardian's actually the one that found that the Newsboys are the ones that actually freed him. So they're actually good for something, you know. So the Newsboys freed him and gave him that leather jacket he wears now. And so one of them was him. One of them was John Henry Irons. He was taking the place of Superman.
Steel.
Yeah, Steel. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, you pompous son of a bitch.
Played by Shaq.
Oh, please, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Oh, my God.
Hey, that's the beginning of the DC universe, okay?
Was it? Dude, man.
No, it
that
wasn't.
That explains a lot.
But it'd be something if it was, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be something. Man,
woo-wee.
Woo! He's like, I heard 2 movie directors, him and him, got it on. Woo-wee! No, they didn't. Yeah, you could imagine what it'd be like if they did, right? And then Suicide Squad was made. So like at the end of it all, man, well, the 5 different Superman came along. The Eradicator, so you got the Superboy who's confused, who doesn't know where the fuck he came from. You got John Henry Irons who's wearing a suit made out of steel, and he has a hammer and he's trying to do his part. Gotta save so gotta defeat Doomsday. So that's his thing. And then you have the Eradicator, who is a 250,000-year-old Kryptonian android. Who, when Superman got people, he usually tied him up and flew him to the cops and said, "Yo, that's another day in the bag." In reality, Eradicator's frying people on the spot like a fucking egg, like literally frying and killing them. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Man, he was murdering people. He murdered people, That's the Superman that they got from the Eradicator. And then, I can't remember. It was, I think that was the only Superman. Oh, and how could I forget the other man claiming to be Superman, Hank Henshaw. Mike, you know who Hank Henshaw is. Hank Henshaw is the cyborg Superman. Cyborg Superman, which they went into a long thing after that. Everybody was like, "Oh, it was a cliffhanger ending." He's like, "I'm Superman, murdered a lot of people." It wasn't until the comic book that set it all straight for me, Mike, called Superman Back for Good. I had the metallic cover and everything, man. It was amazing. They all came together. The Eradicator, the Green Lantern, Superboy, Supergirl. They all came together. Steel was there, And, huh?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, no, it was fucking awesome, dude. They all show up, and then Green Lantern, dude, goes one-on-one with Mongol, and he fucking beats him, but he gets his arm almost ripped off in the process. He has to wear an arm sling for the rest of the comic book, but they get into it hardcore, man. There's a long, drawn-out fight, and there's long, like, moments where the Eradicator, who's been a long-time enemy of Superman, he finds out the Eradicator is the reason why he survived, because the Eradicator is the one that saved his life and brought him back to life. You know what I mean? And so, at the end of the comic, man, him and Hank Henshaw go at it hard. Superman doesn't have his powers when he comes back to life because, I mean, you know, he comes back as pretty much mortal. And an attack from Hank Henshaw, he shoots the kryptonite right through the Eradicator. It hits Kal-El, gives him his powers back. Now he's got long hair, punches a hole through Hank Henshaw, the fucking cyborg, tells him, "This is it, bitch. You know, you've done all this crap, and now here we are. You're going to die." And he's like, "No, I'm not. You'll never beat me, Superman. I never." And then he vibrates his arm. He punches through Hank Henshaw's body and holds him in the air, right?
Right.
Holds him up in the air with one arm, and he's like, "All right, man, I'm tired of talking to you. It's time to get fucked." He vibrates his arm at like a million whatever a second, and like he turns into 1,000. I mean, he pretty much turns into dust, right? And at the end of that, man, nothing was ever the same after that again, you know? Superman was never the same after that. Never. I mean, just the long hair itself, just by itself to me, was such a big change, you know? Like, he was never the same. He would always carry around those battle scars as the fact that he was resurrected. And to be honest, the readers would carry around that scar too, if they, you know, were around to live through that. You know what I mean? I mean, people now can always go back and read the graphic novel and be like, "Oh yeah," but if you were there at a time when there was no graphic novels, there was no internet, when there was no time for you to really marinate the fact that one of your favorite superheroes who'd been around since like 53, 43, something like that. It was around that era, right? During the golden age of Superman. Yeah, was it 53? Was it? Am I right?
No, Superman was 38.
38? Okay. Well, damn. I was way... Whoa, that is not correct.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside the box. So, damn, dude. See, thanks, Mike. That's why you're the man.
No problem. No problem.
He's like, "That's what I do." So, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm just glad I could help.
He's like, "I drink beer, read comics. Shit pussy, because I'm so knee-deep in bitches. Get it right. You got me all twisted up in the game, boo." Anyway, so basically, I really think, man, that was such a defining moment for Superman fans and fans of comic, even people who weren't fans of DC, which DC was the big dog at the time. I think Marvel was really gaining ground, and you know, I mean, they had a lot of well-to-do stuff in the late '80s, but I really think it was the time of the anti-hero that Marvel really took its stand, you know. And they were all about symbols. They were more about powers and more enriched storylines with good origins. But to be honest, man, to see a character like that bite the dust right there and then come back in such a hard-fought war, you know, to come back, and then it's just like, it's one of those things where, like, you know, as a comic book nerd, you're going to kind of have, like, origin PTSD. You know what I mean? It'll just never be the same. Yeah. And I think people my age and your age and whoever else read it at the time that really felt that impact, it'll always be like that with them, man. You know? And even though right now I sound like a pizza-faced virgin who lives in his parents' basement, eating Hot Pockets and playing Quake, right. I really do feel like that it'll always have a special place in people's heart whenever they saw the death and return of Superman. You know, like they really will. Go ahead.
No, I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I wasn't really reading DC at the time.
Yeah.
I really just Did you ever see what all came with the Death of Superman issue?
As in like accessories or?
Yeah. It was pretty bomb. First of all, it came polybagged.
Yeah.
Which everybody found out like years later that the polybags are ruining their comics.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, cruel irony. Yeah.
It was a prototype, Mike. It was a prototype.
Yeah, well, it's something about the acid in the bag was eating away at the pages. So like, sorry about your. You might want to check on your X-Force #1s, guys.
Yeah. You might, yeah. Yeah.
They're probably holding on by a thread there. But anyway, okay. So it came polybagged.
She was
black polybag with a Superman symbol on the front.
Yeah.
Actually,
no, I do remember that.
Death of Superman poster.
Yeah, I do remember. Actually,
where there were a lot of
Mike just completely fell in and hit me in the nuts.
DC.
Carry on.
Okay, I'm trying to be a professional here. Okay.
Wait, say that again?
I'm trying to be a professional here.
Well, for fuck's sake, man. Moving. I'm sorry. Well, no, I appreciate that, but it's kind of hard to do that when it sounds like the fucking Eiffel Tower just crashed into your sack. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So it had a lot of DC heroes carrying the coffin of Superman.
Yeah, I did see that.
It also came with a little poster that said "Here lies Earth's greatest hero," and it was it looked like a tombstone, so I hung it over my bed.
Was it a gold? Well, that's pretty cool and morbid. Yeah. Was I mean, I get what you're saying there, but yeah. So,
and it came with a black armband as well.
Wow.
Yeah, with the Superman on it. Or the Superman shield on it.
Where to say "Here lies Earth's greatest hero"? Was it a gold plaque or it was a tombstone? Right.
It was a tombstone.
Was the tombstone in the shape of Superman, or was it just a tombstone?
It was a tombstone. Well, it had the S shield on it.
Okay.
And it said under that, "Here lies Earth's greatest hero."
The reason why I'm asking is in that comic book where Hank Henshaw shows up, he actually shows up to they put a plaque on the street in Metropolis that made of gold with the S there, and it says, "This is in memory of Superman killed on this spot while defending." And he picks up the plaque and vaporizes it.
Yeah, he sounds like an asshole.
What a cocksucker. Yeah.
Here's an interesting fact. Hank Henshaw. Yeah, Hank Henshaw was created as a pastiche of Reed Richards.
Really?
That's true. Yep.
That is interesting. Very. Sure. I mean, no. It is interesting because it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna send you on Facebook. I'm gonna send you let me see. I'm gonna send you a picture of the bag.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's a picture of the bag.
Yeah, dude.
And then, yeah, and here is a picture of the poster, the tombstone.
So, at the end of that was a great time to be alive. By the way.
Yeah. I was totally a Marvel kid.
Were you really? Yeah, and I mean, yeah. I like Marvel too. No lie at all. Man, you remember? Speaking of Marvel, remember that shitty Punisher movie from the early '90s or late '80s or whatever?
Yeah. I don't think I ever watched it.
Really?
Actually, no. I mean, I knew enough about it to not watch it. I knew it had Louis Gossett Jr. in it. I knew it had Dolph Lundgren, and I figured neither one of them were capable of making a good movie. And so,
Dolph.
Yeah, I just skipped over it.
Well, okay, so what do you think about the one with Thomas Jane, man?
No.
You didn't like that movie?
No, that's not a good movie.
That's not a good start, but keep going.
Yeah, no, no, that's not a good start. And please stop right there.
You didn't enjoy that movie at all, really? You weren't a fan?
Okay, so speaking honestly, whenever I got home from the movie theater, I was like, wow, The Punisher was on the movie, was in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is really cool. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, no, that's not how the Punisher would act. It's like the Punisher would not, he would not trick a man into killing his wife and his best friend.
He'd just come in blasting, huh?
Yeah, he would just shoot him in the face.
He'd be like, my name's Frank Castle, and I don't have a family. Who the fuck are you? And he just...
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, you killed my family. I'm going to fuck you.
I'm going to fuck...
Bullets. I'm trying to sound a little bit edgier, because that's the voice that...
Hold on. Let's see. What would Frank Castle say? Let's do this on the spot. You're an improv king, right? I want you to tell me.
I have joined an improv group.
Yeah, you're good. Yes, you have. Yeah. Very gracefully. And Mike, I'm putting you a challenge right now. This is the scenario. I want a catchphrase right off the top of your head. All right, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Punisher walks in. Hold on. I'm going to give you the scenario. Punisher walks into a bar, right?
Okay.
Has two sawed-off shotguns on each side of his trench coat. everyone looks at him. They're like, "What the fuck? Who is this?" And these men, he's been chasing these men for a month because they're doing a human trafficking ring. Okay. Punisher busts through the door. Someone just goes up and goes, "Who the hell are you?" And what does he say?
Somebody order a round of buckshot.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger walks and he goes, "No, that's not kosher.
That's not kosher."
Yowza, yowza, Bo Bowser. Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Realistically, the Punisher wouldn't make a joke to me anyway. I wouldn't think that he would make a joke, because the Punisher's been around the block a few times, and he knows that, even though it looks like you're probably about to win, that you could still lose, so he's basically about, getting the job done, and, making grim commentary in his own head, while he does it, it's like, it's like I fire the shotgun and like, the meat slices away from the bone, and
it's like a lot of people. It's like
I think about their blood splattered corpses and smile, and
and he's like War Journal entry number 227.
Right.
Still haven't slept in 2 days. Dick has this strange fuzz on it. Not quite sure what it is. I better start using antibacterial soap.
That's right.
Had a bagel this morning.
I slaughtered, some of the most horrible people in the city of New York.
He's like,
I want to try that new deli afterwards.
Yeah, he's like, I killed many drug dealers, chopped one of their heads off, and mailed it back to the mob boss. Why is The View still on TV? Never quite understood those bitches. Anyway, end of entry.
That's right.
Oh,
New day. Still thinking about The View.
War Journal entry.
Torturing a low-level thug. Pulling his fingernails out one by one with wire cutters.
Son of a... He's like...
What is Sharon Osbourne's next project?
War Journal entry number 19. Many people died on the battlefield today. Poor cops. Never saw it coming. 26 drug dealers laid in the streets. Head full of slugs and ballistic tips. Brain matter at my fingertips. And not nearly enough in their skull. I wish I'd used Quilted Northern this morning. It's hard to walk in these pants. End of entry. Yeah, fucking Punisher, man. We'll have to talk about Punisher.
He's a cold dude, man. He's a cold dude. Like give Punisher like something that could take out an Eternal.
Yeah.
And he would solve your Thanos problem.
Man, Punisher. I actually saw Punisher with the symbiote on his spot, dude. That was fucking awesome, man. Like to see Punisher with the symbiote. Have you seen that before?
It's probably for that upcoming story, the Venomverse.
No, this is old, bro.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let me take a look here.
Yeah.
Look at Google. You have access to a library in front of me.
Yeah, you do. It's so funny. We're talking. We're like, we don't know the answer to that. Like, we don't live in the 80s. Like, it's not like it's like, you know what? Let's get back to this podcast after we visit our local library.
That's right. Let's see. Okay, there's a alternate Earth.
Yeah.
Punisher, where he got the symbiote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's him with the symbiote.
Yeah, he looks like it's a. From my understanding, man, like his guns are still very much effective, except the bullets that he shoots are automatically reloaded. Like he has an infinite amount of ammo because of the symbiote.
Not bad.
Yeah. If you
would go for
fucking A, dude, I wish I had that now. I mean, not to like go shoot up my enemies' houses or anything, or anything like that. But I mean, just
yeah.
It would look good on paper. Yeah.
Nothing indictable.
No, nothing like that. Nothing that what if you had the symbiote? First of all, First of all, who's your favorite symbiote? Who?
You've probably never heard of my favorite symbiote, actually. Or maybe you have. I don't know. Did you ever read Separation Anxiety?
Yes.
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 Okay.
I played the video game too.
So I've got a number 1 and a number 2. My number 1. Mm-hmm. By the way, you might want to check your mic because you keep fading in and out.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Am I fading right now? Yes. Diabetes and the effects of gonorrhea. Can you hear me?
Yes. Throughout that whole sentence, whatever you're doing, keep it there.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right. You might want to I fully expect for this part to be cut out.
Why?
And why? Because we're talking about audio issues on the air.
No, fuck it. Leave it in. I know. I want them to know about the hardships of what we're doing to bring this fucking podcast to be. Fuck that. They're like cut and dry. Well, we had a couple of technical. No. They don't know the fucking hell we went through to make this right now. So I don't give a fuck. That's staying in.
We'll put it this way. We started this shit at what, 10?
10:30, dude. 10:30 is when this we started fucking around with this at 10:30. Okay, we've never really had to. Most of the podcasts we've recorded have been in person. We were like, you know what? We're not going to be able to make that trip since he and I are almost 3 hours away from each other. So it was like, fuck it, we're going to do it over the internet. I didn't realize it'd be this goddamn hard to make a podcast and have it recorded. I didn't realize you had to have a fucking bachelor's degree in Christ. I didn't realize that. So anyway, here we are. We're making this, and I'm leaving that in there because they need to know we made this podcast. The fans, we do a lot for the fans. Okay, so the fans are listening. So it's gonna fucking stay in, Mike. I don't care what you think, you son of a bitch. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. So you asked me who my favorite symbiote. I actually have 2. Mm-hmm. Scream from Separation Anxiety.
Yes.
And
is that the one? Is that the one with the flaming head?
She doesn't have a flaming head. She is yellow though, so I mean, like I could kind of give that to you. Let me see. Let me pull it up so that she.
Okay. It. No, I know she's. Who's number 2?
Flash Thompson as Venom.
Okay.
Agent Venom.
I do remember that. I do remember Flash Thompson as Venom. In the video game, obviously we know who my favorite villain in Spider-Man is anyway, right?
Carnage, yeah.
Obviously Cletus Cassidy, a fucking psychopathic serial killer, who bonds so well with the symbiote that instead of saying we, he says I am Carnage, I will kill you, I will rape your anus with a cactus. Yeah. That's my favorite, okay? If you would have the symbiote cover you, what would your traits be, Mike? What would be, if you had the symbiote on you, what do you think, because usually the symbiote brings forth most of the people's, it takes their inner fears, inner anger, most of their anger, anything negative about them, and it empowers them more. It's kind of like the dark side of the Force. If it was if you were to have the symbiote, what would you look like? What color would your suit be? What would you look like? And what would your main power be? And do you think you would bond to the symbiote enough to where you could say, I am so-and-so instead of we are?
I don't think I would bond that well because I'm not good with relationships.
Right. Very good answer.
Yeah. I'd probably be either like red. Mm-hmm. Probably red and black. Those are my 2 favorite colors.
Okay.
Probably more black than red. Since I've got some like design sense, I could see, it being, what's the word? Whenever you could pare something down, symmetrical.
Right.
I could see it being symmetrical.
Right.
Let me see. I'd probably be like really big because like I caught a lot of shit all my life for being short. Mm-hmm. So I could see like being like the version of Venom that would eat people from Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Often drawn to like 3-4 times its own size.
Yeah.
And like hungry all the time. I don't see actually eating people. Because I'm not really a fan of people. I've never eaten one, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like it if I tried.
Well, I mean, you can't say that, man.
Yeah, probably one of my biggest issues that I get angry about is whenever I talk to somebody in tech support from another country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know how that would manifest, but I'd probably have like a Indian guy like on my chest or something like that, like the face of an Indian guy with like a big beard or something like that, with like a headset.
Is this, dude? Is this
like if I had to guess, I don't know. I'm just like free balling right now.
Totally free ball. Your balls are in the wind, son. You totally free balling. Let me tell you. Well, now, would you like to know what I think I would be as a symbiote?
Sure. Yeah, please.
Okay. I think I would be I think I'd be blue and black. Like a dark blue and black, right? And I wouldn't have teeth. Okay, would you have the teeth or would you have the blank face like Spider-Man, the black Spider-Man?
I think the blank face is scarier. Actually, the less features, the better. Like no eyes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like as long as I could really see,
Right. I think I would have the blank face and the mouth. Like I could open up and use the mouth too, but I could speak without it. Yeah. I would be bigger than I am now. I think like at different time periods, if I was to bond with the symbiote when I was younger, I would have immediately bonded with the symbiote. Immediately, I would have immediately been I. Now, I think it would be we for a little while, and then it would be I. So I would be with. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
And there's some people. And for those of you and this is a bad time to say this, but if you're listening to this and you don't know what the symbiote is, it's basically an extraterrestrial sludge creature that gets onto your body and bonds with your body and pretty much makes a suit that fits to your body and gives you extraordinary powers. Spider-Man already had powers that just intensified his tenfold, but it also makes you very angry and it changes you into a superly aggressive, pretty much murderer, because it gives you the capacity to murder. It takes away your conscience. It pretty much makes you what am I looking for? Makes you a sociopath. Right, that's a good call.
Yeah, it's like super roid rage.
Yeah, mixed with Xanax, because like you're really angry, but you have no scruples. You're like, I'm angry for no reason because it's fun to be angry. Kind of like me at 17, or when I started working at StarTech.
Right, so, I remember that.
Yeah, I know you do, you son of a bitch. So I remember Mike. When I first met Mike White, I was like, "How you doing, Mike?" And you were like, let's go drink some beer. I was like, I'm sold. And that's how that's how it happened.
Is that true?
No, that is not true at all. When
I
first walked in, the boss was like, "Fire that Jew!" I was like, "What's going on?" It's like, what? No, but yeah. So, what are we like an hour? And
We are at an hour and 27 minutes.
Oh man, you know what? I think. Do you think we covered enough for the comic episode? Do you think we covered enough? What do you think?
I think that anybody that's listening right now, it's like they fell asleep with the recording on.
No, I don't think so, man. I think you know what I think. I think you and I, as far as giving comics news, we get straight to the point, man. I want to get straight to the bone. I don't want to be like, oh, it was an awesome comic, man. Yeah, it was a lot of. It's like, no, man, no. This comic was fucking trash. Or this comic was awesome, and it'll give anybody a boner. I feel like, and I'm not going to go talk too much about ourselves because it'd be self-indulgent in the first place to be on this podcast talking about ourselves. But I feel like I feel like as far as comics go,
fuck it, it's our podcast.
You know what? Fuck it, man. You know what? Now you twisted my arm. Fuck it, it is our podcast. But I can say what I want. Fuck it, dude. I'll slap this. You know what? If I didn't like this mic so much, I'd slap it with my cock. But I think like if we're going to talk about comics, and I think we have room for one more small insertion of comic history. Okay, I think we covered three or four things pretty in depth, but I think we have time for one more insert, don't you?
Sure.
And what I think that we should talk about since we were talking about the Infinity Wars, let's talk about the Secret Wars, Mike.
Oh, which one?
The Secret Wars, the first one. The first one.
The first one? Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let's make this good. You watched Fox Kids back in the day, right? The Fox Kids Club, right? Those cartoons?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember the Spider-Man cartoon?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't that a great cartoon?
That was a good cartoon.
It's a fucking great cartoon, man. And one of these days, we're going to have to cover Saturday morning cartoons because in my early days as a kid, man, the Fox Kids Club was probably the best place to be. It's actually a place in my mind that I keep around. I go and visit when I really need to. Say what you will about it, but dude, it was great. Anybody that watched Fox in the 90s can attest to that if you were a child. From Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to The Tick to Tiny Toons to Eek the Cat to Animaniacs to Pinky and the Brain to the X-Men. You know? I mean, all those shows, man, were phenomenal. To Goosebumps, to Round the Twist, to Erie, Indiana, to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You know? Like, all those things existed, man. They were all fucking great.
Toxic Avenger.
Well, that's a little. Wait, Toxic Avenger. Avenger. There's a cartoon.
Yeah, that was a Toxic. Well, I think it might have been Toxic Crusaders.
It was Toxic too. Yeah, it was Toxic. Good, Mike. Now you're in a gold mine, son. For those who don't know, Toxic Crusade was a Toxic Avenger was a movie in the 80s, right? It was an 80s movie. It was Toxic Avenger. They come up with a Toxic.
There was more than one, yeah.
Yeah. And they called him Toxie in the TV show. So yeah, well in the cartoon, like they had all these different people. The one that I remember specifically was a dude who had his mask was made out of leaves, and his name was Major Disaster. Do you remember that?
I do remember that guy. Yeah,
remember Major Disaster? And like he was such an apathetic jerk off. I mean, he was an empathetic jerk off. You remember that? He was always like, "Oh, I feel so bad about what I'm doing," and I'm like, "Shut up."
The main thing I remember about it.
Yeah.
Was that in every episode of the cartoon, in the background there was a family and they all had blonde beards.
I think I remember that, bro. I do remember that.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you're fading out here. It sounds like white noise over there.
Wait, no, I'm right here.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, no, I was looking at something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm here, bro.
Okay.
I'm never gonna leave you, Mike. Never. Never. I'll never let go.
Okay. I'm Googling.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, it's okay.
What are you Googling, man? We're doing a podcast.
I'm looking up the family with the beard.
All right.
Because they were always in the background.
Okay, so while you're looking that up, in the Secret War in Spider-Man, this is the last thing too. The Secret War in Spider-Man, I'll never forget this as long as I live. This was close to the end of the series, before the series finale, right? Before Maury Bench came back and kidnapped Mary Jane and started this whole chain of events, right? Bottom line, I think they did a very good job with this cartoon, trying to keep it with the continuity of the comic book. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it exactly the same for some reason. Like the Sinister Six was actually called the Insidious Six, and a few people were switched out, like the Rhino and the Chameleon. You know, which the original Sinister Six, I do believe, and like you know who they are, right? Like I don't want you to tell me. I want to tell you and tell me if I'm right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go down the line here. Tell me if I'm right. Yes or no. Original Sinister Six, the Vulture, right?
Yeah, yes.
The Sandman. Right?
Yeah. Wait. Who'd you say? You said Vulture, right?
Vulture, yes.
Okay, and then?
The Sandman. Right?
Yeah, Vulture's right.
No, I said the Sandman.
Oh, yes. Yes, okay. Yeah.
The Sandman, goddammit, Mike. The Sandman.
Dude, I told you, audio issues, man.
There's no audio issues. You can't hear me?
I couldn't hear you say Sandman.
Okay.
I thought you kept saying Vulture.
Fuck. Okay, no, it's Sandman. I didn't hear. So the Vulture.
It's six people named the Vulture.
The Vulture. The Vulture. The Vulture. You're like, no, it's the Vulture. Like, well, fuck. We can't all be you, Mike Vulture. So
okay, you said Vulture and Sandman. You got 4 left.
Sandman, Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
Electro.
Yes.
The Green Goblin.
No.
It wasn't the Green Goblin?
No.
Kraven the Hunter?
Yes.
Kraven was one of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the last one is hold on, do not tell me. They tried to say it was the chameleon in the newer one, but it was not the chameleon. Well, he replaced him in the new Sinister Six. Hold on. I got this. Please don't tell me. Okay. Fuck. Why am I not? It's really late. Why do I not remember who the last one is? Hold on. Let me try again. The Vulture, Sandman, Kraven the Hunter, Dr. Octopus, Electro, and the last one is... Fuck! Why don't I remember who the fuck it is?
Because he's pretty lame.
Hold on. You said he's lame?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, it's not the Rhino. They put him in the Insidious 6. Is it the Shocker?
No.
Okay. Dude, Shocker's lame as fuck, dude. Shocker's the jobber of Spider-Man universe, man. Shocker, dude. Underneath all that shit, Shocker was Barry Horowitz from WCW.
Okay, you could say that about the Shocker, but the Shocker actually showed up in a movie in the Marvel universe before this guy did.
Okay, why am it's not the Lizard?
No.
Hold on. Gosh, what the fuck, man? Okay, who is it, Mike?
Mysterio,
yes! Yes, and he is fucking lame. God,
yep.
No wonder I would have never thought of Mysterio. Why was Mysterio part of the original Sinister Six?
And the Green Goblin wasn't? I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I mean, exactly. Like there were more generations of the Sinister Six, but that was the original. You know, I mean, really break down who we have here. We have a man who can. I mean, dude, it's such a far spectrum of people. Whoever put this together is out of their fucking mind. Wilson Fisk put the other one together. This one, it's like, okay, you have a man who can pretty much manipulate electricity. And then on the other hand, you have a man who flies around in a bird suit. Then you have a guy who has like titanium tentacles. And then you have a man made out of sand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a fucking jungle man who swings balls in the air. And then you got then you got a man with a fishbowl for a face.
Yeah.
Saying that out loud really puts things into perspective. Either something's wrong with them or there's something wrong with us, Mike. And it's a shame that I can't tell which is which. But no, I will say...
It's not us. It's not us.
Okay. It probably is, but I'll take your word. Sinister Six was awesome fucking storyline. But the Secret Wars, man, like the Secret Wars is amazing. A man by the name of the Beyonder comes to Earth, and he literally tells Spider-Man, I'm going to take this planet full of peaceful beings, and I'm going to take, I believe it was 5 or 6 of Earth's worst villains and send them there. And I mean, he picked the worst. Well, mostly the worst. He picks Doctor Doom. He picks Red Skull. He picks Dr. Octopus. He picks, you remember who else he picks? I can't remember. It was a few.
Let's see, you said Magneto?
No, Magneto was not in the Secret Wars. In the cartoon is what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the cartoon. I'm looking up
yeah. In the original Secret Wars, it was
Yeah, in the comic, it was the Absorbing Man, Doctor Doom, Dr. Octopus, the Enchantress, Kang the Conqueror, Claw. The fuck?
Dr. Claw? Why? Why was Dr.
Oh, well, hold on. If that blew your mind, okay, listen to these heavyweights we got. Yeah. We got Absorbing Man, we got Doctor Doom. We'll go ahead and give Dr. Octopus because he led the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
He's done some pretty big shit, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, the Enchantress, yes, Major League. Kang the Conqueror, he controls all time.
Totally, yes.
Ultron.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. After Claw, the Lizard.
Why?
What the fuck? Dude, I was holding a marker. In my hand and I dropped it. Like I read that and I was like, hold on.
It's like,
well, hold on. Maybe there's a different lizard.
Yeah, it is.
Nope, it's the same one. I just clicked on the link. It's the guy.
It's like, maybe it's a different lizard. No, it's the same one-armed doctor that teaches at a fucking university. Yeah. It's still Dr. Kurt Connors, the guy who...
Dr. Cunt Connors.
He's like, well, what does Dr. Octopus have? Well, Dr. Octopus has titanium. What about Kang the Conqueror? He travels through time and he conquers. Dr. Doom? Well, Dr. Doom is, Dr. Doom is Dr. Doom. And they're like, well, yeah. It's like, well, what about the lizard? Well, he's very strong when he's a lizard, but as Kurt Connors, he enjoys extra ketchup on his meatloaf and sometimes watches Young and the Restless if he has moments. It's like, what the fuck, dude? That's insane. Who else is there? Anybody else?
If he doesn't get a full 8 hours, he gets a little moody.
He gets a little, yeah.
That is Kurt Connors.
That is Kurt Connors for you. And also, I mean, dude, if we're going to throw Kurt Connors in the mix, hell, why didn't we send Carl the Crusher Creel? And why didn't we send...
He was. No. That was the first one I read, Absorbing Man.
That's Carl Creel?
Yeah, Crusher Creel. Yep.
No shit, so I was right?
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed I was right, dude. One more jobber. Who gives a shit? By the way...
He's one of the biggest jobbers.
He is one of the biggest
Marvel
jobbers.
universe.
Him,
yeah.
Dude, yeah. So
he's like everybody's had a turn with him, you know. It's the town horror, you know. He's like every superhero has lost their virginity to Absorbing Man.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. They're like, dude, the X-Men are like, they have like a new prospect. They're like, can I join the X-Men? They're like, wait a minute, have you beaten the shit out of Carl Creel yet? Like last year. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that immediately puts you at a 6 out of 10. All right.
Yeah. Either that or the answer would be, give me like 10 minutes and
I'll be right back.
He'll fucking defeat himself like he does every other fucking time. You know?
Yeah, dude, yeah. And like Carl Creel's such a scumbag. Like, every time they fight him, he's always at a bar somewhere drinking scotch or some shit like that. Speaking of, they always...
How can you walk through New York, or any city really, with a fucking ball and chain, like dragging it, and not get harassed by the police?
Dude, I don't...
How does that happen?
I have no idea.
You know?
Maybe he only hangs out in the Bronx. I don't know.
It's like
I know one thing. I know one thing, dude. If he goes in a certain part of New York and he swings that ball and chain and somebody who's doing heroin dies, then you can easily say without a shadow of a doubt, just another junkie murdered in Hell's Kitchen. Yow! Who are you? So,
dude, I'm so glad you were able to work that in. For those of you listening at home, he brought that up in a phone conversation, and ever since then, it's like
I can't
every
get over
phone
it,
conversation we're going to revisit that at least one time.
Yeah, dude, it was just like one little panel. Some chick gets shot with a sawed-off shotgun in a church in front of the nun, and it's like Karen Page dies, never hearing the forgiving words of Matt Murdock, and then the next thing will be with me forever. Just another junkie murdered in Hell's Kitchen. As a child, I laughed my ass off when I read that line, and that goes to show just how fucked up I really am as an adult. I can't get over it, but
it's all right.
It's hilarious, dude, and it's like a catchphrase. So I said, basically, that's what Horatio from CSI Miami would say if he busted in and saw like some dead bitch with a fucking heroin needle hanging out her vein. What do you think about it, Horatio? All I can say about this is just another junkie murdered in Hell's Kitchen. Yeah.
Okay. I think I got one. Okay, so the somebody's telling Horatio about all the villains that disappeared from Earth. You know.
Okay.
It's like Horatio. We got some real heavyweights. You know, we got Absorbing Man. We got Dr. Doom, Dr. Octopus, the Enchantress, Kang the Conqueror, Molecule Man. We'll give it to him. Titania. She's strong as fuck. Mm-hmm. Ultron. The Wrecking Crew. They're all Asgardian powered.
Mm.
But look at this. The lizard. The lizard, huh? Looks like he's shed a new skin.
Yeah!
I really want to know.
Oh. What a terrible actor he is. All right. Oh, man.
He's not good.
He's cheesy as fuck. Oh, man. Yeah. So that's Secret Wars. So that being said, Secret Wars. So Spider-Man actually gets a couple of we're right at 2 hours of this podcast. I don't give a fuck. They're gonna have to deal with it. So right at the end of the Secret Wars, at the beginning, right at the end of the beginning. I guess that's two different things I should differentiate. Fuck. I'm tired. Spider-Man gets his pick. The Beyonder gives him his pick of all the people he can bring in, and I do remember who he brings in. He brings in Iron Man. He brings Captain America. He brings the Fantastic Four, and he brings Storm from the X-Men. That's the people he brings. He brings in all that whole crew.
That's a solid team.
Yeah, that is a solid team. And it's a long drawn out story, man. It has a lot to do with Doom. There's a lot of busting in the ranks in the villain side. They can't trust each other. I mean, and I do remember the lizard does get brought to this planet in the cartoon, and he's just as useless as he probably was in the comic.
That lucky fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's just bro. It's fucking insane. We don't see the Molecule Man because Absorbing Man, because nobody knew just who the fuck he was when we were kids. Anyway, bottom line, at the end of it all, man, it was good. Spider-Man learns his lesson. Everybody goes home, and then and after it's all over with, and the continuation, it goes right into Spider Carnage, which is Peter from another reality. I don't know if you remember that or not, but that was awesome. Anyway, it was a great series. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it was phenomenal. It ended on a good note. It was kind of a cliffhanger ending for the series finale of Spider-Man, but man, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you definitely need to go back and watch that, because I believe that during that time in the 90s, there were they took it very seriously. They took those cartoons very seriously. They took comic books very seriously, especially for kids, and they made them very serious and very action-packed. They did it with X-Men. They did it with Spider-Man. They did it with actually, all those cartoons are really serious. As a matter of fact, speaking of cartoons in general, the Batman animated series won so many awards, man. The Batman animated series was great, and I feel like it was so great, man, that Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill have been the voice of Batman and the Joker now for about 2 decades. And that's how much of an impact they had, man. And even kids who didn't know that
more than 2 decades.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. What am I saying? Probably about 26 years. 25, 26 years, dude. Because that show came out in 93, I believe. So, just imagine, Mask of the Phantasm was a really old movie. So, anyhow, yeah, that's all I got, Mike. You got anything else?
1992 to 95.
All right.
That was a Batman animated series.
And that was an awesome fucking animated series. It was awesome. I wouldn't. I'm gonna tell you, Mike. I'll probably say this a lot in this podcast, but those moments and those days when that shit was out on TV, when I watched it as a kid, dude, amongst everything else that's happened, no matter what, those days stand out in my mind, man. And bring me to a place that nothing else can, and I'll never ever forget them as long as I live, dude. And I mean that 100%, bro. That like those moments literally are what keep me hanging on at some points in my life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree that they wish they could go back to those times. It's just good. They don't do anything but bring good memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you. But I mean, I was pretty much bullied back then. So,
I had a way to step in and shit on the parade. It's all about you, isn't it? Huh?
Well, no, I feel where you're coming from, but I just can't say I'd rather be back in those days because like if I could have like all my superpowers that I have right now.
Yeah.
Back then yeah, that would be fucking awesome. I would own the fuck out of some bullies.
Oh
yeah. Or if I was as confident as I am now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my superpowers I have now were just growing then. Like before, I had just started gaining my superpower of disappointment, and now, I mean, I'm a master. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. Like I have a similar superpower, but it's like in the people that I meet that actually feel the brunt of it.
Yeah. God.
They're the ones that are disappointed.
It's yeah.
I get what I need, and I move on.
Well, most of the women that I'm in bed with, that they're usually disappointed, but not because I'm bad in bed. It's just I'm not having sex for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
why would you do that?
Yeah. I mean, for fuck's sake, what do you expect? We met on Backpage. Anyway, that's the. Well, that's the end of the podcast, Mike.
All right. Woo!
Woo! There's still a cure for AIDS. Now, it has been a while since we were a little hiatus due to this whole distance thing. We're going to be having more than one podcast. We're going to have one podcast a week now, so do not fret. And I guarantee we're going to be coming back. And maybe next time I'll be a little bit more revitalized and not sound like a fucking cocaine junkie coming off a binge. And hopefully, and Mike will be a little more drunk. But anyway, even so, that's the end of the podcast. If you have any questions, if you have any requests, hit us up on our page on Facebook. Hit us up on YouTube. It'll be posted there, and pretty soon we're going to be posted on Spotify as well. Just give us a little bit of time. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, go to MegaPowers Podcast on YouTube. And our Facebook page, what is it? MegaPowers for Life? Is that what it is? Facebook.com/ Huh? Right.
I believe that's our Twitter page. Let me see here. Yeah. No, you're right. MegaPowers for Life.
Yeah. Ace. Yeah, Ace may have smoked a lot of pot in his life, but hey, he still has moments of miracle. Facebook.com/MegaPowers for Life. Check out the webpage. Keep in touch with us. We're gonna our probably not this next podcast, but the one after that. We're going back to a live. We're gonna do a live format for you, and we're gonna have we're gonna do a video game. The next podcast. We're not 100% sure what it's going to be yet. We have a couple of them in mind, but we do know that it's probably going to be something nerdy. Hey! And after that, and then after that, it's going to be the live podcast, which I am 100% sure is going to be the video game episode. And that episode, we're going to be having my good friend Frankie Waps from Yonkers, New York, is going to be with us, and he's going to be on the line with us talking to us. He's a very big video game enthusiast, and yeah, that's going to be awesome. And we'll probably have a few brewskis and talk about, I don't know, titties. So, anyway.
Always there are two. No more, no less.
No less. 2x2. All right, man. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening, and have a phenomenal day.